and we're having a pre-show conversation. Now we're ready for the show. Thanks, Gary, for giving us that little extra time with the loud music so maybe they didn't hear us.
You didn't swear, did you?
No, I didn't do that. No, if I did, I'd be in real trouble. Okay, everybody, welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with nonprofit executive directors and their staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. For those of you who may be listening for the first time to this weekly show, during this hour we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today we're going to start out the show with the folks from the Pacific Cancer Foundation. We've got Nancy LaJoy, who is the Executive Director, and Sally Peckstein, okay, who is a registered dietitian, nutritionist who works with the Pacific Cancer Foundation, and she's just going to share all kinds of good information with us. Hi, girls. How you doing?
Hi. Thank you for having us on the show.
Hey, my pleasure. And it's going to be to everybody's benefit because I learned so much in the 5 minutes before the show went on that I can't imagine what you're going to share with everybody over the next 25 minutes. Nancy, you want to give us just a rundown on what the Pacific Cancer Foundation is all about?
Sure, will do. So the Pacific Cancer Foundation is a nonprofit. We serve people in Maui County, including Molokai and Lanai, and we just provide free cancer support services to cancer patients, survivors, caregivers, their families. And we have a lot of different programs that we offer. One of them is our nutritionist who's here today. She has a workshop coming up, so we want to focus on that. Several other things we do. We have a patient navigator who works up at the hospital. We have a whole array of staying fit programs, exercise programs, and we have kind of new, a lot of complementary care programs we're coming out with: meditation, aromatherapy, Reiki, things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty exciting stuff.
You just got a whole full bag of tricks over there.
I do. And this summer we're going to be working with the Colorado Department of Health with a new survivorship program, which we're kind of excited about.
Interesting. Now, I think the thing that I like about what you do is that it's not just for the person who is going through cancer today or wants to learn about cancer just in case someone in the family you don't come down with cancer, you get cancer.
Right.
It appears. But also the survivors, because there's certain things that some people, when they survive cancer, they go, okay, that's it, I'm done, it's over. And then 20 years later you hear they came back again. Actually, it doesn't come back again, it's a new strain after 20 years, isn't that right?
Well, I think the biggest thing about survivors is, I think people are certainly living longer after treatment. And I think people have changed after they've gone through treatment or they've had a diagnosis. They kind of look at the world a little bit differently, and they look at themselves, and they sometimes take some new directions or think about doing things they haven't done before. So there's kind of a lot going on with survivors, and we want to be able to offer a lot of different things to them so they can kind of experience some new things.
It's interesting you talk about that, because I am a cancer survivor, and 36 years ago now. And I made major changes in my life, and I did not know why. It was like something changed. My whole attitude I lived in this small town and figured I'd be there forever. Next thing I know, I'm moving to Hawaii. Nobody I know here, nothing. I've been here now 36 years, and I haven't looked back. I changed my whole career path. Everything. Except what I ate. And that's why it's so important that we talk to somebody like Sally, because I think I'm just lucky. But it's really, we laugh at it, but it's true. I never even thought about changing what I ate, or that it was a cause of anything, or didn't help me. Let's put it that way. But that's so true.
We are really lucky to have Sally on board with us, because I really feel like she provides a vital service to Maui's cancer community, because people do start thinking about what are they eating, what can they eat different, how they can, change some old habits. And I think Sally's got a great approach in working with people through that. So we're happy to have her on board.
She sure had me going, what? Huh?
And I'm back, Susie.
Right. That was back in February or something, right?
I haven't asked you yet what you've changed since our last conversation, but we won't get into that today publicly.
I was going to say, I think that's after the show wraps. Yeah. But you're right. And I think that, that was just an instinct to make those changes. Not that I thought it would make a difference in my life as far as my health, but it was like I had this new power within me to go out and try something and break away from all those small town ties that I just figured would be there forever. And am I exaggerating, or does this really happen to a lot of people?
No, I think it really does happen.
Yeah.
And I think good thing to keep in mind, though, is Maui is also a small community in a lot of ways. And, we're really here to help support the community and, help each other in our ohana here. Because people do face cancer in different ways. Everybody's journey is unique to them, and that's why we've really expanded our programming to try to offer something for everyone.
Right, right. And you've gone through tremendous expansion from the time I first started talking with you folks over there.
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting. We've been really fortunate in having some people come forward and volunteer some of their talents. Another thing that happens with a lot of survivors is they do want to give back, and they want to share a specialty that they may have.
Right.
And so that's happened with some of our programming, and we've been able to implement some new programming with some survivors saying, hey, have you thought of this? Can we try that? And so it's been it's been
cool.
It's also part of a sort of a support group network for people who they're in yoga together, or they're going to meditation together, they're doing another exercise program together, paddling, that
Right.
they're forming bonds and creating relationships and helping each other heal.
Cool. Well, I know the first thing that impressed me about your organization was the Navigator program. And I've used that as an example of how to, even when the county talks about we've got to do something about the way we approve plans for construction projects. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying you guys need a navigator. Look at the Pacific Cancer Foundation and see what they put together for their navigator, how to move you from this to that to the next thing, find out where you need to be, how long you should be there, And I said, I must have said that in public testimony 2 or 3 times to him. A navigator. I don't care if it's a staff person that's already there or somebody you hire to just specifically. When somebody comes in with those plans, they take them and they go to this department. Okay, you've got 2 weeks to do your thing and then move over to the next thing. And that's all because of you guys.
Well, I don't know.
No, but
I don't know about that, but if we do value the navigator that works with us.
If you don't know what's out
is
there and available for you, and most people don't. Cancer's not something everybody studies prior to getting a diagnosis.
No, and we've kind of talked about this before. It's like stepping on a rake and getting hit in the head, and the stars are going around and you're spinning and you don't know where to turn. And just to have that solid person, the navigator, to sit there and listen and help point you in different directions, help offer other services, help with all the appointments and the rides, and it's overwhelming. Insurance.
So the navigator even helps with rides to different appointments?
Yes, that's actually, transportation is a huge part of her job, because it can be really difficult to get for people to stay on track and get to all of those appointments, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's amazing. So this is the first time that I'm hearing, and sorry to jump in, but of the navigator position or program. And yeah, it sounds amazing to, if you're put into that situation where you're just getting a diagnosis of cancer, of how stressful that must be, and to have somebody there that's literally walking you through the intricacies or the maze that is the health system. I can only imagine how much of a relief that would be.
It's a very complex system, and having that person who knows the system on your side is a huge benefit.
How long have you guys been having the Navigator program?
The Navigator's been around for 6 years.
Wow.
Actually, in January of this year, we hired a new navigator. Sherry Asajima is her name. She previously worked with a private practice and is now working with us, and she's just doing a great job. We're really happy to have her on board.
How many patients or clients would that one navigator be able to help?
You know, that's a good question, because I just was talking with Sherry this morning with one of our donors, and she shared that right now she's got 50 to 60 patients that she's navigating.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And some of them it's, a simple thing of how do I get to the support groups, and some of them it's very complex. Right now she is working with getting a translator and helping a doc and making sure that the patient understands their diagnosis. So it goes to that level.
So it's really the specific individual needs of that particular client.
They work
that's
with
awesome.
that specific, and all 60 of those people have a different need.
Yeah.
You see why I was so impressed with it?
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, now before we go too far off base, we have Sally sitting here who needs to tell us
I need to.
what we're eating, not eating, should be eating, can't eat, how to prepare, where to find it.
Yeah, such a cornucopia, right?
At what point you can eat it? No.
Right. Okay, so no shoulds. No shoulds. But
okay.
there are definitely definitely some foods that are much more supportive of a healthy body, right? And so that's kind of what we do with the nutrition program is really set up to help people who are going through treatment to try to manage their side effects and that kind of thing. And then we also work with people who have been through their diagnosis and are on the other end and trying to kind of land into a healthier lifestyle, perhaps. And so we want to talk today a little bit about the class workshop that we have coming up in a few weeks.
Okay, May 17th to be exact.
May 17th, yes. And so this is going to be a workshop that we focus mostly on phytochemicals or phytonutrients, which sounds very scientific. So phytonutrients are plant nutrients that have biological activity it's being studied quite a bit in research, and these nutrients support human health that come from plants specifically. So to get a little bit, pull out a little bit into a little bit of an easier way of looking at it, think about fruits and vegetables and their colors. So oftentimes phytonutrients are kind of categorized by color. And so the big take-home message is to incorporate more fruits and vegetables into your daily life, into each meal, and to kind of just take a step back and look at it a little differently.
Do you have different advice for patients that are currently going through treatment versus survivors?
Absolutely, because people who are, generally speaking, let me say, people who are going through treatment may be dealing with one or more side effects of that treatment. And so we really have to work one-on-one with that person, what they're able to tolerate, what they have a taste for, what they don't have a taste for, if they're having mouth dryness or soreness in the mouth. I mean, there's so many things that can affect our ability to eat and
Sure,
to
yeah,
eat.
I'm just thinking of gluten allergies or, just various allergies in general that a specific individual might have that you'd have to steer clear from, that you might be advising people without those allergies to eat on a regular basis.
Yeah, it just depends on kind of where that person is through their treatment and what they feel they can manage, because that's the most important thing. We can have a whole list of great ideas, but if they don't meet with what that person feels they can do, then it really just feels like a kind of a daunting list, right?
Sure,
So we
yeah.
kind of just back down and meet each person and kind of see, just take each person on a case-by-case basis.
All right.
So before the show started, we were talking about the plant-based foods and what the importance of eating them as fresh as possible.
Right.
Yeah? Can you go into that a little bit for
Yeah.
everybody?
So, I mean, my overall message today and in general is just to incorporate more fruits and vegetables. And so if you're a person that buys your berries at Costco in the big frozen bag and sprinkles them into your yogurt, fantastic, right? Or if you have those in a dish after dinner, fantastic. And they're not fresh, but they are absolutely wonderful for you. So fresh is great. Frozen can also be one of the things we were talking about before the show, which some people don't really think about, is when produce is frozen from the field, it's frozen pretty quickly after harvesting, right? And so there's a school of thought that says that it's the freezing process arrests any decomposition of the nutrients, right? And so it gets frozen and it gets to market. Whereas a fresh vegetable might, hang out in the Central Valley for a few days as it gets into its refrigeration and its trucking, and then it ends up in Washington State or Hawaii or whatever. Also not bad, but it's just a different, just thinking about the trajectory of that vegetable or fruit, right, is not usually something that we do.
Right.
And I'm not encouraging that we have to get into the minutia of that. The most important thing is look down at your plate and your plate for the day, and is it a half or more of fruits and vegetables? A half or more of fruits and vegetables. Yeah.
Hang on to that thought. We got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more exciting information on what you should be eating.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
Oh, welcome back. We just had breakfast. We're talking about V8 juice as an alternative to Coca-Cola.
Yeah. So as I said earlier, kind of going from where that person is. So like, let's say you asked about the health benefits of V8, right? So it's a very processed product, right? I mean, it's that those fruits and vegetables have really, they're not in their natural state, but they're now canned and pureed. They're also packaged with a whole bunch of sodium. Now, I'm not I'm not against V8 whatsoever, but it's kind of just important to do like an overall view. And so what I kind of think about is, is the person who's choosing to drink V8, have they given up a lifetime of drinking sugary soda?
Right.
Well, that's a wonderful change, right? If they're going to drink a ton of V8, then we really kind of want to just step back a little bit and look at how much sodium that is, and maybe encourage low sodium V8, or maybe down the line, buying their veggies and putting it through their own juicer, which is real easy to do, just kind of getting in step with that. So,
is there some reason that everything that gets canned like that ends up with a ton of sodium?
is it
like a preservative for it? Or?
It's a total preservative. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
So
same thing with like fast foods.
Well,
you find a ton of sodiums in a lot.
Well, okay. Woo.
Oh,
I can feel my
across the board.
soapbox. Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
So you're trying to get me going, aren't you, Susie? Right? So when you think about, yes, like the preservation process in sodium, absolutely, but also the food industry will add sodium, fat, and sugar to products in order to tantalize our taste buds, right? And so historically, for example, if you see a product that the food industry is now trying to make less fatty, they will often add more sodium or sugar to kind of give that product more of a tantalizing taste, because they've taken away some of the fat, they're putting in various ingredients to give it that mouth feel that we might miss because the fat's missing.
Gotcha.
So,
Like
Yeah,
like back in the old days. I mean, way back in the old days, they used salt as a preservative for beef, pork, whatever that they wanted to keep over the winter. Right, back in the homesteading days and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've heard that. I
Right.
wasn't there.
And so what if we pull out to, I think we did this last time, right? If we pull out to that 10,000 foot view, fly like a bird over that and check that out. Okay, so, but what else were we eating at that time? Were we actually snacking on chips and like what were the other
no.
items in our pantry? It was those canned items that were
Right.
in the root cellar. And more fresh whole foods, whether they
Right.
were actually fresh but they were of more of a whole variety and less processed.
Right.
So that was the processing. Whereas now we live in a world of processed foods. Right? And
Interesting.
so
Okay.
The feeling is let's get
point.
back to the whole foods, folks.
People were probably a lot more active back then than they are
That's
now.
true. They had to work from
Much
sun
more.
up
Yeah,
to
really
sundown.
good point.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us what if I come to your workshop? What am I going to learn?
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Give me an overview.
Okay, so the workshop is on May 17th, and it's on phytonutrients or phytochemicals, same thing. And essentially what we're going to do is we want to talk about the benefits of a plant-based diet. We're going to give people tips for incorporating more fruits and vegetables and making that a real sort of accessible and fun change. We're going to talk about the benefits of eating raw fruits and vegetables versus cooked versus canned and that kind of thing. It's all good, essentially, just to kind of, as I said before, if you can really envision that plate, whether that's the plate in front of you or your sort of plate for the day, as half fruits and vegetables, which is a very different story than probably what most of us were raised with, where we had it kind of that vegetable inhabited about a quarter of the plate.
Right.
Yeah, so the USDA and various health organizations around the world actually are really seeing the benefits of a plant-based diet that's more laden with fruits and vegetables. So we're going to really kind of have fun with that. We're going to talk about, and I really love this visual of eating a rainbow, right? So really, like, what kind of color have I taken in today? Right, not my Skittles, right? And that's where the phytonutrients come in. So we're going to really have fun kind of talking about the various plant chemicals and how they're being studied when it comes to health and cancer prevention. And so we'll kind of go through the rainbow and talk about various phytochemicals. I'm going to give you a couple just to think about. So lycopene is one that people may have heard about. That's the red color that you find in tomatoes and oranges and papayas. It's an antioxidant. It helps inhibit new blood cell formation. It's an anti-inflammatory. So it does a lot of things for the body, actually. So we're going to dedicate some time to kind of talking about that and hopefully fire people up about thinking about all this goodness that they're taking in through their fruits and vegetables.
Cool. I'm thinking about your fresh off the tree orange. If you take it fresh off the tree and you take it in, you're going to squeeze it and have orange juice for breakfast. You don't get as much juice out of it that day as you would 3 or 4 days later. Mm-hmm. For some reason, it softens up, loosens up, whatever, and you get more juice. Mm-hmm. If you're going to eat it right, like an orange slices, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
So does that 3 or 4 days make a difference?
Oh, in terms of the decomposition of the nutrients?
Yeah.
Or probably not too much.
Okay.
But where I would go back and kind of like meet you on that question is let's go back a few steps. My ideal would be to take that orange and peel it and eat the entire thing. Because when you juice it, and I'm not, let's say I'm not an anti-juice kind of gal,
right?
But I would highly recommend eating the fruit, and because you get all that fiber, right? And so that fiber does all kinds of wonderful things for your body. It gives you more of a sense of satiety and fullness. It works with your gastrointestinal system, kind of, helping the food move along through your system. So roughage, we also know that word roughage.
Right.
And so it's just you're not leaving anything out other than that peel, right? And so the peel goes in the garbage.
So like when I finish with the juicer, I usually take some of that and put it in the glass with it so that it's got the fiber in it.
Yeah, so that's, and there are different schools of thought about that.
Okay.
About juicing vegetables versus, oh boy, this is a whole other topic, but taking vegetables and putting them through something like a Vitamix, which is a type of juicer that really just masticates everything, and you end up ingesting pretty much everything. Whereas there are other juicers on the market where you end up with a pile of roughage, right? And that, again, that's not a bad thing. There will be some people that will say, no, it's just such a waste. I personally, when I do my juicing that way, I will take, because I'm just sort of frugal, I guess, I'll just take my mass of roughage and I'll put it right back through, right, and get
really?
more out of that. Yeah, because I
And
can
you still get
squeeze a little more
some
juice
more
out
out
of
of-
that.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting
so it's a
thought.
little window on my frugality maybe there, but yeah, and so but it's always really nice just to eat that fruit
Right.
and eat that vegetable too. So but boy, if you're going to choose a nice healthy juice over a carbonated soda or another kind of sugary drink, go for it.
Right. Well, I know when my tree is got oranges on it, it goes crazy. It's like bananas. It's feast or famine.
Oh yeah.
You got them all, and it's like, okay, what do we do? How are we going to get as much as we can out of this?
Yeah.
Right.
And I can't wait for breakfast when we've got a stack of oranges. So, okay, so you had, I think, one more thing you wanted to kind of highlight here.
Oh yeah, so I talked about lycopene. That's one of them. And then say another one is lutein, which is in spinach. So think about your green vegetables. And also it's an antioxidant. It also inhibits new blood cell formation. It encourages the self-destruction of cancer cells. So all of this stuff is being looked at in research. And so it's not just kind of there's not some non-founded, agenda by the public health bureaus to get people to eat more fruits and vegetables. There's actually some good research being done in the realm of phytonutrients and how they help the cells in our bodies. So it's, with all nutrition research, it's hard to tease it out as a one-to-one correlation, but some nice work is being done in this area, and we're going to look at that a bit in the class as well.
Interesting, and of course, it's not a perfect science,
Of course not.
and no body is the same as another body.
Exactly.
So what might work for you won't work for somebody else,
Exactly.
and so on and so forth. But it's an interesting thought to think about it. Now, if you've got cancer in your family, is this even more important to think about and to try to do what you can to change your to change the trajectory of where your body's going to go?
Right. I think I'm going to speak more from my opinion about that
Okay.
than a research-based backed answer. I would say, which I do have cancer in my family, actually quite a bit on both sides. I'm going to up my fruits and vegetable intake as much as possible, but I'm going to give that, as the nutritionist, I'm going to give that recommendation to everyone, whether you've got cancer in your background or not, because when it comes to nutrition and phytochemicals and eating for a healthy body, whether it's cancer, whether it's high blood pressure, developing diabetes, feeling better, just having like more just healthy living and just
more
feeling
energy,
good in
more,
your
yeah.
body. Yeah,
It's a benefit across the board
Across
for
the
every
board.
human.
Right.
absolutely.
right.
Just regardless of regardless, where'd that come from? Regardless of your family
Right.
medical history.
Now, you keep referring to phyto.
Chemicals or phytonutrients. Same
How do
thing.
you spell phyto?
Oh, so PHYTO, which is
Phyto.
means plant.
Okay, I'm thinking of the dog Fido.
Oh, Phyto, right.
Phyto.
Okay, so let's say that PHYTO, which is
PHYTO,
yeah, which
okay.
is plant. Yeah, so
It's just the chemicals that naturally occur in that fruit or vegetable or plant,
exactly.
just normally in their growing process.
Exactly.
Right.
And they do tend to be correlated with color, which is interesting, and that just makes it more fun to study and to pass along the information and take it down to that really simple eat a rainbow. I mean, we can talk
Right.
to our children about that, but why not as adults? Why don't we think about the rainbows that we eat or don't eat every day?
Yeah, it's an easy way to be conscious about getting a variety of different
Very
plants
Right.
in your body.
yes.
Some people say it's helpful to make a list of what you eat during the day, just so you get an overview. Because for most of us, we just eat whatever's handy if we're in a hurry, or whatever is quick to fix after work. We're tired. We don't want to fix a big dinner. is it good to sit down once in a while and just make that list and look at it and say, oh my gosh, do you realize what you ate this week?
I know that'd be scary for me.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad thing. And when you're making some intentional changes with your health and your diet, it's a great thing, as long as you don't kind of bring to it a burden of shame behind it. So really, this is information that's just like, it's a window on your habits, because our habits are, they're long-standing usually.
Right.
So, and I actually just want to, before our time is up, I want to just mention that with our workshop that's coming up on the 17th, we are blessed to have a local integrative health coach, wellness coach, who's going to be joining the class. Her name is Kim Morris, and she is a cancer survivor and really has a lot of passion for helping people to choose healthier foods, to reevaluate their pantries and the way they cook. And she's got a lot of wonderful energy for just helping people to make small changes that make a big difference in how they feel and how they approach food and keeping it fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really blessed to have her joining
great.
the workshop
That's
on
great.
the 17th.
I'm still thinking about this list. What I can see somebody doing. I'm one of those people that likes to analyze stuff. Okay, and sometimes I overanalyze, I'm sure, but like taking that list of all the foods that I ate this last week, getting ready to go to the grocery to restock, right? If I take that list and I go, oh, shouldn't have had that, I could have had this instead, that would have been a lot better. And then I take that shoulda, coulda list and put that on my grocery list so that I don't have what I ate last week in the house, but I have what I should have eaten.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When I come home and I've just got enough time, enough energy to fix something, that's what I've got in the house.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you're setting yourself up for success in that regard. So
Right.
you're taking those foods that really don't serve you as well and that have just been part of your repertoire for years and years and years, right? And bless you for that. We're all creatures of habit for the most part. So I think that's a really insightful way of looking at keeping a bit of a diet history or a food record, is that it can really inform us if we're willing to kind of step back and take a real unbiased look at that. Then it can totally give us a bit of a tailwind for our next grocery store tour or
Interesting.
shopping.
One of the fun
spree.
things that come out of these workshops is there's a lot of great little tools for your toolbox. And one that I enjoyed from the last time was getting the glass containers instead of the plastic Tupperware, putting the colorful fruits and vegetables in there, chopping them up, having them ready. And so when you open your fridge, here's kind of a nice array of not only the colors, the healthy food, it's ready to go. So when you're tired, you really are reaching for those good things.
Interesting.
Yep, and they're right in front of you. You've already done the chopping. So it's just kind of putting that into your, in the way you do your shopping. So shopping is coming back from the store, and I'm going to spend a half an hour chopping stuff up and putting it, and then it's just easy grab and go.
Right.
Or easy to throw into your meals.
Instead of
Thanks
taking
for
that box that has 36 taquitos in it and splitting it up so that you got 6 in a package ready to go, you chop up celery.
That's a lovely analogy.
Yes. That would be a strategy.
So next time when you go to the store, you don't buy the taquitos, you buy more celery.
There you go.
Okay, I got it.
I have a question. You hear a lot of hubbub over the last year or two about eating an alkaline diet being beneficial for cancer. And I don't know if that's a food fad or just a trend that the media is getting out there, or if there's really scientific research that supports that. Do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, so it's a really, really popular, it is totally out there in the media, and it is very popular. And because there's not much of a body of research, if at all, around that one, it's one that I will support people if they choose to do that. But I can't, where I show up as a member of my credentialing body, which is science, evidence-based practice,
Sure.
which is so based in research, is that I can't promote that, let's say,
Mhm.
but certainly I will absolutely meet someone where they are if they feel that that's an important component to their healing process. Absolutely. But there's a lot circulating out there. We're all researchers now, right? So to
Right.
speak, in air quotes. there.
Internet research,
Right.
keyboard
Right.
researchers.
Right, because
Right.
if it's on the internet, it must be true.
Right.
And so that's just an important thing. And part of my job actually is to help people navigate that, and to be supportive in the choices that they make. Right.
And
Great.
you know
We've-
what? Another.
Hang on just one second. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back, and we're talking about eating healthy, nutritional support coming here our way from Sally Peckstein, who's a registered dietitian and nutritionist who works with the Pacific Cancer Foundation. Nancy LaJoy, who is the executive director, had some comments she wanted to make.
Well, I was just going to share that another one of the great tools that people leave the workshop with is a list of some valid web resources. So when people are perusing the web looking for information, they have some reliable sources to go to.
As we know, anybody can put up a website and talk about stuff, and some of them lead you, they hook you, bring you in, and then all of a sudden there's some doctor that shows up and you're supposed to subscribe to his newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, uh-oh, wrong site, back off.
Right.
So that's good to know that comes out of that. Now, we're talking about the nutrition workshop that comes up on May 17th, and that's at the J. Walter Cameron Center.
It's from 11:30 to 1.
Okay.
We are asking people to RSVP because we do serve a healthy lunch following the workshop,
Yeah,
and we
that's-
want to make sure we have enough for everyone. And we do supply, packets with a lot of valuable information, so we want to make sure there's resources available to everyone. So they can call 242-7661, which is our main office at the Pacific Cancer Foundation, or they can send an email to nancy@pacificcancerfoundation.org.
I think that's a great idea to have examples ready-made for the participants of the workshop that they can actually enjoy and see what is healthy and get a taste for what that actually is right when it's all happening. That's great.
Yeah, it's
So-
part of it, huh?
Yeah.
So they leave with a good taste in their mouth.
Exactly. So we've had this great conversation, and we do try to create the workshops as conversation, not as a lecture in the lecture format. And so there's this lovely lunch to kind of wrap it up. But then also this coming workshop, we're going to have Kim Morris with us,
Right.
who's going to be we're not going to do a full-on cooking demo because we just don't have the kitchenette as part of our venue there. But we will do sort of some prep and have some nice kind of visual and tasty examples of healthy foods and side dishes and things like that.
And
so
this is all free.
yes.
All free.
That's great.
great.
Fabulous. Pacific Cancer Foundation, thank you,
Thank you
Nancy
for
and
having
Sally.
us.
Thanks for having us
Appreciate it.
on the show. We
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank you.
you.
I always walk away here ready to go buy some stuff for lunch.
Some kale.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. I still have
By
to
the end of the year, Susie, we're going to be eating kale
still-
together.
I still have to find somebody who knows how to fix it so that it's not just kale.
Come to our workshops.
There
Okay.
you go.
We'll
You're
see
going to
you
show me how.
Wednesday.
See me on the 17th.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you much.
Thank you.
Okay,
you.
keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay, and the voice that you've been hearing off and on during the conversation here is Max Tornai, and he's when he was an executive director and on the board of the Maui Nonprofits, he was a co-host with me on many occasions, and I just love for him to be here because he can add a little something to the conversation. He has such a different perspective than I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have questions, and as they come up, it comes out of my mouth.
And they're always good questions. But now Max is working with Habitat for Humanity as their Community Relations and Development Director.
Yep.
Whoa, what a challenge. What a challenge.
There's a lot going on.
And you were coming on today to talk about your new store manager, the Restore Manager, and some of your projects.
Yeah. I was really hoping to introduce our new Restore Manager. Her name is Charisse Durago. She is unfortunately not able to be with us today, but I just wanted to give her an opportunity to introduce her to the radio listening public and just remind everybody that the Restore is out in our community, and we're constantly getting donations of new and some slightly used building materials for almost any type of project around your house, but also a lot of furniture. We get a lot of donations from the hotels and resorts that are renovating. A lot of furniture stores on Maui will donate their display items or models that customers have been sitting at while they're at the store, so they're not they can't technically be sold as new, but they're basically brand new.
As I was looking at your website, you've got one place there under the Restore where you can click on and it takes you straight to the list and pictures of some of the hot items for today or this week or whatever it is.
Right.
And I mean, there's a ton of stuff on there, and it is so inexpensive.
Right. It's amazing. Because these are donations, we're able to discount them up to like almost sometimes 90% of retail value, and that's just it's like a quadruple win for the community because residents are able to improve their homes on a inexpensive budget. The donor gets a tax deduction for the value of the donation, and we're keeping it from the landfill. I think last year we diverted 1.2 million pounds of items from our local landfill that a lot of businesses just don't have another option. They just need to get that stuff out of their store if they're closing down or renovating or whatever. And then it allows Habitat to have a steady revenue stream to help us in our real mission, which is to renovate substandard housing on Maui and build new, safe, affordable housing on Maui. And the affordable housing is really the main goal. Well, all of it's really the main goal, to have it be safe, affordable, and a decent place to live.
Now you've just started a project on Lanai.
Yeah, we just started a project on Lanai.
That's your first, right?
That's our first full home build that we did over there. So actually the homeowner gave us a call because her house at the time had a leaky roof, and that's through our it's called a Brush with Kindness program. So we'll do critical or even simple repairs on homes when the homeowner isn't able to afford to do those repairs themselves, and they go through our family selection process. But our homeowner over on Lanai, she qualified for our services. We went in and did an assessment, and there was so much existing damage in our house. The walls were had some rot in them. And to go and put a brand new roof on walls that aren't top notch, that could collapse, that doesn't help anybody. So we determined that it was more cost effective and safer for everybody involved just to demo the existing house and build her a brand new house.
Wow.
So
that's right.
Yeah, so it's an amazing program, and this upcoming 2 weekends on Saturday, this Saturday April 30th and Saturday May 7th, we have some volunteer build days over there. Specifically, it's for our National Women Build Week. And so the goal is to try to get women to come out and learn how to build affordable housing and in their communities, or renovate substandard housing in their communities to improve their communities. A lot of times a construction site can be a little bit daunting, or the impression is that it's daunting.
Right.
For women, but we're trying to get the message out there that no, absolutely women are welcome to come out, and if you don't have certain construction skills, that's a great part of Habitat's program as well. Is we take the time to teach our volunteers that are novices how to effectively lay flooring or put up drywall or whatever the task at hand might be. But so We actually have 2 women build locations. Our job site on Lanai and our just a brush with kindness. It's an elderly woman just off of Lower Main Street in Wailuku who's having trouble getting down her stairs safely. So we're putting in a wheelchair ramp, doing a couple other improvements to her house. There's a lot of painting involved, a tub and shower conversion, so she can get in and out of her tub safely without the risk of falling, with grab bars and things like that.
Interesting. So basically, to qualify, it's the income situation?
Yeah, so we look at the need.
Okay.
So if somebody owns a house already, they wouldn't qualify for a new house. So a lot of our new homeowners are straight out of homelessness, or a lot of our homeowners are what we call the hidden homeless. They're bouncing from one family member or friend for a week or a month here, month there. So we look at need first. Then we look at your income range. So we service between 25% and 80% of the median income of Maui County.
Okay.
So what that kind of means for a single person right now is that you would have to make between $17,000 and about $45,000 to qualify as a single person. And then the range goes up depending on how many people are in the family.
Right.
So, that could range up to a 5 or 6 person family.
Okay. So, but they do have to have a lot. They have to either buy a lot or have, maybe there's a family parcel or something.
Yeah, it really depends on the specific situation. So if we're able to work with a developer and get some lots donated or at a high discount, then it's a brand new homeowner, and the land comes with the house.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So for example, we are looking at 10 single-family homes over on Lahaina side that we should be breaking ground on this fall. That's in the Kahoma residential subdivision, and it's part of I think now it's a 72-lot subdivision, and we have 10 of those lots. And we'll be building anywhere from 2-bedroom to 4-bedroom homes, depending on the needs of the qualified families. But yeah, in those situations, the lot comes with it. That's actually, the land is our biggest obstacle here on Maui. The cost of land. I was at a conference in Atlanta, in Georgia, last year, and somebody in rural Alabama was just like, "Oh, well, we were able to get, 5,000 acres for $1,000 a piece from a government auction. Why don't you just do that?" And it's just like, that would never happen here on Maui, unfortunately. But if we're able to work with a donor or a developer to get that land, then that would be part of the process.
Okay.
A lot of people have a lot from DHHL, the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. That's also a really good option. And unless you're in one of those two situations, then you'd either have to be like willed a plot of land, or just have that plot in your family, or somehow have access to it to be able to qualify. Yeah.
Interesting. So it looks like Kahoma's going to start happening this fall, huh?
Yeah.
What's that been? 10 years?
I think we started the process in 2011. I think we got the first letter of intent.
That's 5 years
from West Maui Land. But yeah, there was
some court cases.
Some court cases that had to get resolved. Those just got completely resolved in November of 2015. So just this past November. And we got a letter from the developer, West Maui Land, that the infrastructure, so like the access roads, sewage lines, that type of thing, will be ready by this summer. So
wow.
So really hoping that we'll be able to move forward full steam ahead on that project this fall.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that follows the Kahoma stream.
Yeah. So that's actually right next to the Kahoma, the flood diversion channel.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people will know where Star Noodle is, or the Lahaina Cannery Mall. So it's across the highway from Lahaina Cannery Mall, kind of in between that flood diversion channel in Emerald Plaza over there and Lahaina Luna Road. So that area right there.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So Kahavai is full.
Kahavai
sold out.
Is full. We finished, that was our 16-unit condominium that we finished in March of 2015 last year. So last year we were able to get 18 new homes finished, which was great for 26 residents of Maui County, getting them into safe, affordable housing, which was huge accomplishment. But everybody moved in. All the homeowners moved in there. They're doing really well, and that's.
Aren't you glad to have that behind you?
Past, you know? So we will continuously work with our partner families, no matter when they moved in. So we still will work with our partner families that we've found housing for in 2000. We were built housing for in 2007, 2008.
Right.
So we're constantly involved. But the construction, that's in the rearview mirror, which is very.
And you also had some
Very nice.
Harbor Light units that you renovated and sold.
Yep.
Right.
We did, I think, 9 units in Harbor Lights. So that was at the peak of the recession, where a lot of homes were going into foreclosure. And, really once the property would go into foreclosure, then the condition of that property would deteriorate if there wasn't anybody keeping up on it, or no homeowner to keep up on it. So we went in to those units and renovated them extensively, and found homeowners for those units, and
Gotcha.
that's all good and going too.
So if people want more information on either the Restore or your various projects, call you at...
Yeah, so you can call our office for information on our home ownership program. Or if you're interested in our Brush with Kindness program, that's repairing critical damage or simple damage to an existing house, that number is 242-1140. If you were interested in seeing what the Restore has to offer, or making a donation to the Restore, which I might add, we do free donation pickups to all parts of the island except for Hana, unfortunately, is 986-8050.
986-8050. Great. Sorry we had to rush you.
No problem.
So much going on. Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Base Yard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies. And if you see an agency there that you'd like to learn more about, go to their website and check them out.
I think those links are on that website.
Are they? Just click on it and
I
go?
think so.
Okay, great. Today we visited with the Pacific Cancer Foundation with Nancy LaJoy and Sally Peckstein. I got it. We're talking about food and nutrition and their big workshop coming up on May 17th. For more information, give them a call at 242-7661. We also talked with Max Tornai of Habitat for Humanity for more information on what they can maybe help you with when it comes to your house, whether it's needed repairs or building a new house. 242-1140 is the number.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got something to donate to the Restore, or if you want to find out if the Restore has something that you're looking for, call 986-8050. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to join us again next week, right here on Wednesday at noon. KAOI Radio 1110 AM, 96.7 FM, 96.5 FM on the west side, when we'll be featuring representatives of 2 other member agencies, the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. Until then, eat right. Right? We learn.
Yes.
We're
Eat a
learning-
rainbow.
Eat a rainbow.
Eat a
I like
rainbow.
that.
We know that on Maui, right? We
That's
know
right.
about rainbows.
That's right. We do. We
Okay,
do.
so that's the challenge.
Okay. Eat a rainbow. Max, what's your challenge?
If you need affordable housing, give us a call.
Give you a call. You got it. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great week, everyone. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.